Welcome, 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 you happy people, to the Monday Night Plastic Crack Podcast, Season 4, Episode 28. 28. Is that number right? I'm sure it's wrong.
Yes, it is. It is.
It
I
is.
got it right last week. Ken got it wrong the week before.
Why are we surprised? So, welcome, everybody. We are joined tonight by Lucas from Piano Miniatures.
Hello.
My favourite place to spend money at the moment. Welcome. So, welcome. Really pleased to have you on board, Lucas. Really grateful.
Happy to be here, yeah.
Brilliant.
Fan of the podcast.
That's what we like to see. That's
Yeah.
what we like to hear. It was worth that money I sent to you. Fantastic. And also joined, as usual, by Steve from 1 Point HQ down there on the bottom row. And Martin's seventh son. Evening.
Are we confusing people? Because we're all in completely the wrong places, aren't we?
Yeah, Dom's mixed it up a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
It's fine. I've never been down here before. I like it down here.
I'm normally over there.
I like it down here. I like it down here. Did you notice though that we took the mickey out of Ken at the end of last week because I said he hadn't done anything for 2 years, and he put 2 videos out and rebranded his channel within 5 days. He's also not here tonight, so.
I was going to say, you'll notice Ken isn't here because he's having a lie down after doing 2 videos for the first time in I don't know how long.
2 years.
2 years. His first videos. And we didn't allow him on because it was all about that thing that we're not allowed to talk about because we'll have to drink. And we get very, very drunk very quickly if we did. So. Let me have a quick look. You're ready to drink, Lucas. Good. So I had to do a special mention for David here. David said, not going to miss the podcast tonight, watching from my hospital bed after having a shoulder operation today. That's dedication. We like that.
Are you in your own room, or if you're on a whole ward and you can make them all listen to us?
What an idea that is.
So I hope everything's all right. So.
And then also, Duke Wellington, it's 5 a.m. here in Victoria, Australia. I'm working a night shift and I'm painting some 28mm ghouls for Infamy. Don't tell the boss. I approve of that. We all do that, don't we?
We all, yeah.
Yeah, we all do that. Maybe not ghouls. I did them. I did Germans instead. Thank you very much, everybody. We will get to lots of questions, so please put them in the chat. Anything you want to know from Lucas around what's coming. I've already seen some questions around when's the new French Kickstarter being announced. So we'll get around to some of those later on in the stream, I'm sure. But I'm sure we're all very excited to hear what Lucas has to say, because I certainly am. So, Lucas, welcome. Thank you so much for coming on the stream once again. But I'm fascinated. Where did you start out in gaming and modeling? Have you been doing it for years and years and years? And, how did it start out for you?
Yeah, so, I'm doing it for, I don't know, 15 years now, maybe? Or, 15 years, I think. I started with Lord of the Rings by Games Workshop.
Steve doesn't understand that. It's fine.
No.
Yeah. And I think I was doing that for 10 years, maybe, before really getting to historical wargaming in series. So it was mostly painting and building and converting and stuff, and for quite a long time. And
it was the gaming first, was it? That got you, and then you moved more into the modeling and that side of things?
No, I think it was more the painting side of things. So I had no gaming partners where I lived at that time. So I was painting and showing the stuff in internet forums and stuff. Yeah. So it was mainly painting and collecting. Yeah.
And then when did you get onto sculpting and modeling? When did that start becoming an interest for you?
Yeah, so it was always an interest, I think, but I was going to university, studying something with media. So quite a it was a crappy experience, but there was one course was 3D modeling, I think, or visualization. It was more like motion graphics and things for logos for TV shows and stuff. And I didn't like that, but I was already wargaming, so I used the 3D program to make buildings and stuff and terrain pieces. And I was already trying to sculpt figures, but it didn't really work. I was doing that, and next to university, I spent most of my time in my room and practice sculpting.
Awesome.
I think I did that for 3 years, just sitting in my room next to university and doing that. And and after that, I did not sculpt miniatures at that point because I still wasn't good enough, and I got an internship at a company in Stuttgart, and they were doing movies and so VFX for movies and TV series. So I spent 1.5 years there, and that really taught me everything I had to know about sculpting, because in university there was no support for that kind of stuff, and they really teach me how to do all the sculpting stuff. And so there was one show, Star Trek Discovery, we worked on, and I was doing some DG doubles, so the characters that can be killed and fly around and and things. And there was the start of my sculpting figures and humans period.
Awesome. That's fascinating. So you actually effectively were trained to do it through work, and then picked it up and
but
fun as well.
More trained on doing the figures for animation, and I also did the painting side, so I already 3D painted all the figures, so it was quite near to the hobby, and
right,
it was quite fun.
So we got a drink. We mentioned 3D printing.
Oh, okay.
That's the rule on the stream. We have to drink whenever someone says that. Awesome. So then, how did that transition into thinking, right, I'm going to start producing miniatures? Was that just something you wanted to do for yourself, or did you always have a plan to start doing them commercially or produce them for other people?
So during COVID, I was a lot of the time just alone at home and in the evenings, and I think then I started to sculpt some figures for my own. I started with some World War I Belgians. And they were crap, but
you got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah, sure. And then I also realized that the job I was doing, not for me, but for most of the other guys, was just too much. It was a lot of overtime and working through the nights, and I'm sure you heard of crunch time before. So I was starting to get away from this in my mind and thinking of other things I could do. And then I think in October 2020, a friend of mine sent me a link with an application for an sculpting shop at Games Workshop. They were searching for someone to sculpt for their specialized games ranges. And that was the first time I was thinking I could maybe try doing that, and I was starting to do a test miniature for them, a Boromir at the time. And I even got a job interview in the end. But yeah, it didn't work out. I think for the better.
For the better for us, for sure.
Yeah, and yeah, after that, I think I started with the Württemberg guys. Yeah,
right.
And I did a few sets of them just for myself. And then I was, yeah, I thought, why not try it and make it a business? And I quit the job, and yeah.
That was an incredibly brave thing to do, I would have thought, to suddenly go, right, I'm going to go off and do what I really want to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was the right time, because I wanted to end this job in Stuttgart, and I also wanted to move together with my girlfriend. So we were, I think, half a year we was back at our parents' home, and were living there. And yeah, I thought I just could try it. And
that was it, the fateful decision. So why was it Napoleonics that? Because you just talked about the fact the first ones you did were sort of Second World War figures. Why was it Napoleonics, and why was it Württembergers that you particularly went for?
Yeah, there was always a special place for Napoleonics in my heart. I was starting with the Temeraire books by Napoleonic. Don't know if you know it. It's yeah, it's a semi-historical book about dragons in the Napoleonic Wars. So dragons are used for military services in the army, but it's written quite historical. So yeah, it's a great book. Yeah, and after that, I was always reading about Napoleonic stuff, and Waterloo by Bernard
Cornwell.
Cornwell, yeah. Things like that. And I think, yeah, also during COVID, I started watching Sharp and all these shows. And yeah, I was reading a lot about the Napoleonic Wars, and in the end, I did read the With Eagles to Glory by John H. Gill, and yeah, that got things rolling. So
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's, I mean, it was funny. Somebody just said, I dare you to go on a, Benjamin just said, I dare you to go on a Napoleonics forum and call that semi-historical. The historically, or the Napoleonic period particularly, is quite well known for its button counters, if you know that expression.
I know that, yeah.
So it's quite a brave decision to sort of dive into the Napoleonic period and sort of put yourself out there producing, figures for a period like that. Did that phase you at all?
Yeah, I think I underestimated how deep this can get. Yeah, so yeah, I know all the errors I did on the Württembergers by now.
I bet everyone told you very quickly where the errors were.
Very quickly, yeah, and I changed a lot of it, of course. But yeah, I did not know the community so good at the start. But yeah, it's by now I know the guys, and I know what to listen to and what not, and yeah. But in the beginning, it was quite a journey. Yeah, so I had a few comments on the Württembergers when I uploaded them to Kickstarter, and yeah, some points I thought about yeah, not continuing at all. So yeah, but yeah, you're learning.
We're all learning all the time.
Why is that community like that? What is it that they get so involved in? They don't just become like interested in it. They immerse themselves so far into it that I I can't imagine getting myself involved that deeply in something where I'll become that sort of rabid when someone does something wrong or paints a cuff the wrong shade of green.
Dude, I dived. It's not just, remember that bloody 15mm tank commander I put World War II for him, and all hell broke loose. I think there's very passionate people in there's just very passionate people in lots of areas, I guess.
But is it a flexing thing? I know more than you. Is that what it is? Is it? I've spent years reading these books.
People are just getting really deep in the background and reading a lot of stuff, and also doing research on their own, because for a lot of armies there is not that much of background. And I think when people finally get all their infos right and have the collection of background stuff, I think when somebody then uploads some figures that are not what he imagined them to be, and it's quite, it fights all the years of research for some people.
Well, I think Benjamin's got it right. He says, I think Napoleonic gamers see themselves as the original real wargamers. There's some truth in that, I think. Maybe ancients as well, but don't know. It's a fascinating thing. I mean, that first Kickstarter you put out, for those who haven't, and I'm sure everyone has seen these figures, they're just some of the nicest figures I think you could ever see. I mean, that was the second Kickstarter anyway, that one, wasn't it? The guard.
Yes.
I mean, just amazing. Yeah, some amazing figures. So was that more successful than you thought it was going to be?
Yeah. I thought with the first Kickstarter, when I could get the money back for the molds, it would be amazing. But it went over the roof, I think. I didn't think there was so much interest in the smaller nations. So I think Württemberg is still quite niche, and not many companies were doing them before me, but there's an interest, definitely.
Well, I think that was for me that was the interesting thing, because you can go online and see, I don't know, X number of different manufacturers doing British or French or whatever it is, but actually some of those smaller nations are the ones that really are not that well represented, or if they are, the figures are fairly limited in what they offer. So actually, for me, when I saw it, I thought, wow, it's something interesting. I always love the weird little nations as well. I think in Napoleonics, for me, that's what gets me excited. Which reminds me, you must do some Swedish. Just putting it out there. Yeah. I have a weird thing about Napoleonic Swedish. Don't worry.
Sorry. I think the good thing about the small nations is that you can really collect one full army, and I think that's what attracts a lot of people in the end. So you can have all the line infantry, the guards, the cavalry guards, and you still don't have to have two tables full of French line infantry.
No, true, and I think to me that was the fun thing. And obviously when you see the figures, you think, wow, they're amazing, and then when you see them in the flesh, you're like, oh my goodness, or in the metal as they were when I got them, it's just, they are extraordinarily detailed. So you obviously took the decision to get ready with your drinks, everyone, 3D SDLs and also metals. Was that, I mean, why did you go that route?
I think STLs was a quite logical decision, I think, because I was sculpting digital and not selling the STLs. So the molds were quite expensive for me. Still are now, but especially in the beginning. And I figured to make the loss if the Kickstarter does not go that well, the STL files would would cover that cost.
Right. Yeah.
Because I don't have to. That's just cheap to produce for myself, and yeah. But metals, I always preferred metal to
Good man.
to paint, and yeah, maybe not to convert, but definitely to paint. And I got in contact with this caster I'm still working with right now, and yeah, I already saw some of his casting stuff, and yeah, he made it quite easy for me in the end. So that was also a fast decision, and I always wanted to get physical models on the table. Just STLs was I wanted to do the full circle of producing figures. So printing them, get them to the caster, painting them up, and also selling physical stuff. Yeah.
Because you had to, presumably you had to teach yourself all of that process. I mean, how did you get advice on how to, because you'd done the sculpting, you knew how to do that, but then to transition that into producing molds, finding a molder that would do it for you, all that, you never had to do that before, presumably. So how did you go about that?
Yeah, so molding and casting is all done by my caster, so that was quite easy. Yeah, I think I bought my first 3D printer, and the results were not that good, and then I bought a better one, and then it worked slowly. Yeah, I think it's not that hard producing figures in metal these days, because printing the master figures is quite easy when you get the right printer and the right resin, I think. And when you have a caster like I have, I just send the master models off to him, and I get the finished models back. So it's quite an easy process in the end.
See, Martin, you could do it. You could do it. Yeah, but I already have one business. I'm told him every time I need. That's a point. Actually, I need to put them live again. I forgot. Oops. I need to sort that.
Yeah,
it is
figures.
I am. Yes. Yeah. I am. No, thank you. No, it's it is a bit part of for me, because obviously I'm not sculpting them, and so Macross is, and but it's about me, and I think I said before, and I know Dom as well. I have ideas about what you want to do, and then there's what's achievable with a pose, because there's just some things that the human body won't do. Or if you're wearing armor, or if you're Napoleonics and you've got a pack on and you've got epaulets, and there's just some things don't do. Because as much as I do want to have Edward IV jumping in the air and cutting Henry Tudor's head off, that's not going to happen. But no, it's a big learning thing for me. But no, it's been really cool. It's been really cool.
Yeah.
It's just fun.
Learning how to sculpt for the models to be molded was a different story. So that's something you have to learn the hard way, I think.
Yeah.
When molds are breaking, and
it's just purely trial and error, is that?
Yeah. I'm sending my caster a lot of pictures beforehand, and he then decides what has to be cut and what has to be changed. So yeah, he's the boss in the end.
We all are our own boss, that's for sure. I'm going to have to address the elephant in the room. Red Steph has said, surprised Steve hasn't asked for a pre-turnip Württemberg. Much to my absolute disgust at the beginning of this, while we were chatting before we came on air. What did you say about turniping, Lucas?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Yeah. But I'm more turning to silver bayonet, I think. So maybe
right.
some skulls on the Württembergers.
Well, with your history of dragon riding or dragoons on dragons, then I think that's probably.
Do you know what? That actually interests me. I think I could understand that. That does sound quite good.
It's a fantastic system. Yeah, it plays really nice. Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Yes. Stream is not how I was expecting it to go. I have to say. Ah, dear. So, I'm conscious we've had you talking for about 20-25 minutes already. So let's give you a breather and you have a drink, and then we'll get back and have a look at some of the stuff you've sent us as pictures, because I know folks will be really excited to see that's sort of what's coming down the line next. I think is probably what we've got here. So let's just have a break and talk about what we've all been working on this week. Steve, I see you have been busy, my man.
I have. A bit of covered in Cadian flesh tone now. Right. Yes. I'm off work this week, so I'm hoping to get a lot of stuff done. And a video. We've got a video planned. How's that? Okay. So last week I was painting the 0200 starter box.
Mm-hmm.
So I finished I did 6 centuries last week, and then on the stream last week I was painting the SAS, and I finished them. Well, I finished 6 of them. So there they are.
Nice.
Oh, very nice.
Lovely, lovely miniatures. They're just so nice to paint. They're just lovely. So I don't actually need to. I know, Martin, you said you don't need much more than that, do you?
No.
For the SAS.
No, not really.
I've built a sniper and I've built a Gauda Bren gun.
I was about to say, I just saw those. I was like, "Where's the sniper? Get the sniper."
They've been built. So yeah, they were finished last Tuesday. Again, I wasn't happy with the camouflage to start off with. I despise painting camouflage, but they worked out okay in the end. I did a bit of a scenic shot as well.
Oh, look at you getting
very
nice.
nice. Oh, look at that. Very nice.
But once they were
the
finished,
guy with the tash, particularly, I think it's great.
Yeah, he's very. He reminds me of David Niven for some reason. Yeah. So once all that was out of the way, I decided. The other week I picked up another starter warband for Burrows and Badgers. So I started on those, and I've done 5 out of 6 so far. So the first one I completed was this chap, my Hair Knight.
I like him.
It's so clean, that blue. That's so nice.
It's actually it's the sculpt. The sculpt is so crisp, it's unbelievable. I think I even challenged myself to do the shield. Normally I wouldn't even go anywhere as light as that, because painting white or grey absolutely terrifies me. I just can't do it. So then I started other 2. So I've done the Shield Maiden and the Adder Mage.
They are brilliant.
Again, just so much fun to paint. And these were all done in. So I'd sit down. I'd just paint them from base coat to basing in one session, because they're just lovely miniatures. I mean, there's the Shield Maiden again.
Beautiful.
Fantastic.
To be fair, I've wanted to paint this for ages. It's just such an interesting model. Awesome. And I like the fact that he's got piercings as well. I was like, how's he done that?
I like it that that's your question.
Yeah, me too. Not the fact you've got an adder who's a mage.
No,
whatever.
No. And then today, I've been doing some more. So I completed the Squirrel Witch. Really, really enjoyed painting that. Again, from start
I've
to
not
finish.
seen that one. That's I love that. She looks so angry.
It's one of the starter bands. So I've bought both starter ones. I'm going to be putting another order in tomorrow because I'm almost out of figures. And the last one I finished today was this little chap, another mouse.
Oh. Excellent.
Very small. He literally took about an hour to paint. It was just no time whatsoever. But I
have to get some of them.
Oh, Dom.
Beautiful figures.
I have to say, Lucas, they are amongst some of the nicest figures I have ever had. They are just extraordinary. They are beautiful.
Just full of character, and every single. I mean, I don't paint metal miniatures where I can. I much prefer plastics. I absolutely love painting these. There's just something about them that just so. I find them relaxing to paint. Exactly. Yeah. They are a joy. They're just. I find them therapeutic because it's just something. It's just something about them that they're so different to what I would normally paint. But I'm working on the last one tonight, so I'm working on the weasel with the crossbow. And I never thought I'd ever hear myself saying that. But no, it's been such. Actually, I'm going to put another order in tomorrow. I want to get loads more because they're just nice. They're just fantastic miniatures. And then I've got some of the more of these 0-200 hours figure to paint. And my video is about this. It's the SDKFZ 222, which I had great fun putting together. I did. It was interesting. It was very, very interesting.
Interesting in a good way.
The gun was, I think it was user error, but because a very, very novel way of putting a gun in a turret is to put it down vertically and then horizontally. And it all went hideously wrong for me. But for the most part, it's put together. So I'm doing that. And I've been asked to do a couple more tutorials as well. So I'm looking at doing some more tutorials for basing and for bolt action. But that's my week.
When's your first weird beer guide coming? Because I hear that was in the survey last week that people
that rated very highly.
Yes. I do like the sound. I do like the sound of that. But yeah, that's my week. Just lots planned. I'm going to try and finish some more of these Bushido figures as well.
Yes, because we have a game to have.
Yes, and I've still got Don. That's Semavente.
Oh, that bugger of a tank. Yeah,
I turned it into one for Swill, which is 28 armored warfare.
Actually, I approve of that. That's fine.
I've yet to paint it yet. I don't know how to. But yeah, that's me. I've had a very productive week.
Ooh, that kit. Gosh. Awesome. What about you, Martin? What have you been up to, mate?
I've painted nothing. So I'm glad that Steve is represented there. No, I went away to Derbyshire for a friend's wedding, and then we decided to go up for a couple of days around that. But I did use the time to have a look at things that happen to be in the area. So one of the things I wanted to go and do is some of the figures I want to do. I want to have more plate mail stuff going on now. That's something I want to have a look at. So I was doing research and dragging my family
along. Your kids along. Lovely.
Yeah, it's kind of gone full circle because my mum used to drag me around churches and me and my dad used to complain all the time, and now I realise that it's gone full circle that I was dragging my kids around this church in the middle of nowhere. But I highly recommend it. So we went. I just got a couple of photos. So we went to Norbury, and there's a church there, and it's really, really out of the way. And it was built, there was a Saxon church there originally, but this structure was built in the 1450s and 1460s, so slap bang in the middle of the Wars of the Roses. And there's these two alabaster tombs on there, and they are some of the best preserved representations of 15th century armor, and the detail is insane. I didn't take about 200 photos. Of these, and but it is really cool. It's the Fitzherbert family. But just to give you an example, I didn't put 200 photos up. I've put one. But if you look at the level of detail on the armor, so the rivets, and he's even wearing. If you look at the points, I look at the points on the arms, and you're thinking those are really sticking out. But the one thing he's got apart from a really bad haircut is he's got a livery collar on, and that livery collar is covered in Sons in Splendor and a rose. So he's a Yorkist. He's announcing his allegiance to in this one's case it's to Edward because there's a lion on it, but his son is on the other side, and his son has a boar on his, being Richard III, and it's actually crazy because if you go to Bosworth, which is where we went the next day, there's that quite famous find in the last few years of the Bosworth boar, and that is a livery badge, and they are essentially exactly the same. It's I mean, obviously it's not his, but you know, he could he died just before Bosworth, but these are fascinating. So we spent a long time in there. If anyone's ever in the area, I'll go in there. The church itself, there's loads of stuff to have a look at, and it's a lovely little place and very out of the way. It hasn't really been changed. Yeah, it'll be coming. I posted it. I'm waiting for that. Where's the gorget? But after that, we went to we had a very nice wedding. Well, not our wedding. We went to a wedding, and then we went to Bosworth on the way home. And I decided to make my daughter try and lift a pole arm. But that was really good because I haven't been to Bosworth since I think we worked out with my mum and dad since I was in year 6. So when I was 11. That was the last time I went to Bosworth, so I hadn't been there with all the visitor centre. And I got to say, I was really, really impressed.
It's good, isn't it? I dropped in after the CrackCon one time, and it was absolutely fantastic.
I think it's fantastic because it's not English heritage, it's not National Trust. They're their own thing. I know they got lottery funding, I think, for some of it, but it's brilliant. I thought it was fantastic, and it especially the bit where you have to put a token in whether you're a supporter of Henry Tudor or Richard at the end. And I sat there staring at my children, making sure they put them in the right one. But it was really, really good fun, and I think we were there for about 3 hours. Went around the battlefield and had to look at everything. And yeah, I did put a post photo up in the Facebook group, but I did dress her up in plate armor, and decided that she would definitely be better in the front line than me. She's just at the right height. But that was it. But no, I'm just finishing these Byzantine cavalry that I've been working on for what seems like forever. I've got a couple of. I'm hoping there'll be the Rangers of Shadow Deep battle report will be out this week, and I've restocked the shop, which I need to open after the stream. So there we go. That was my week.
Well done. Awesome. Yeah, I think Bosworth was amazing. I really enjoyed it. I stopped in after CrackCon one time, and it was just really, really enjoyable. Just spend a couple of hours just wandering around. Really, really good. I've had a reasonable week of painting this week, to be honest. I've cracked on with some Epic. So another unit done.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Imperials done, which I quite enjoyed doing, actually. So I didn't do what I did I've just noticed I've done half the edging on one, but I haven't done it on the pikeman.
No,
bugger,
Dom,
bugger. How could I?
Technically, that you shouldn't.
It's not finished then, is it? Not finished.
No,
not finished. Damn. Oh well, whatever. So yeah, but I took, instead of doing the entire sprue in one, I did do it in the pikemen all together, and then I did all the musketeers together, and it worked out better that way. I felt much more inspired. So much so I did one of the guns. So did that, which is a bit chunky, but it's all right. I mean, it's tiny, isn't it? So what do you expect? And then I wanted to, because I'm trying to do an Imperial army, and they have sort of lots of other troop types that the Epic range doesn't yet do. So I bought some Cossacks that I could mix in to see what the scale was like. So these are Essex 15 mils, which is still a little bit big, but they kind of work. So it was an experiment.
I think from 3 feet away, anything between sort of the Epic up to 15 mil, it's going to work. And like not everybody was a rigid height, were they? Everyone was different. And if anyone gets that close to notice a 1.5 mil difference, they deserve everything that's coming to them.
They deserve a Cossack spear in the
exactly
mush. Yeah. I think the only thing I noticed with it is when I compared the horses. These are supposed to Cossacks, which should have like step ponies and tiny shaggy things, and they're quite big compared to, if I put them alongside the Epic cuirassiers or something, they are a bit too big. But anyway, they'll be fun. As you say, from 3 foot away, I'm not going to tell the difference. So no. And then a couple of weeks ago, I talked about the Andalusian new figures come out, so they somehow happened to arrive at my door. So I thought I'd better paint them up. So that's the is it the Islemen and Highlanders, I think it was, if I remember rightly, with a command pack. So yes, another group for the Bruces in Ireland project, which has finished, honest, but hasn't, obviously. No, it hasn't. Of course not.
I didn't think it would.
And then because Lucas was coming on, I thought I better do some of his figures. So I got around to do some shoots on some Bavarians, which yeah, they're not a patch on the work you do, Lucas, but I'm quite pleased with them. They came out all right. They were quite fun to do. Great. So yeah, so that was my thing. So I may have a Bavarian division coming at some point with my forces. There may be a few around here. Well, you know, you can never have too many different nations, can you? Can you?
Well, when are you doing your French? When are you doing the French, Tom?
The French are all done. I just bought them off eBay because any old crap will do for them. All fine. You know, they're only going to die. It's fine. 95th will take them out. It's fine. So yeah, no, I have got a few, and I think that's actually a really good intro into I think what's coming up from Lucas Land, from Piano Miniatures in the next few months, I should imagine. Before I do that, somebody may have noticed I didn't say thank you to everybody watching on Catch Up. I have now. So thank you to everyone watching.
41 minutes in, Dom. What's your name? Ken?
I know. And also,
get a message after
this. I'm going to get in real trouble, but hey, I'm an amateur. I don't care. So thanks for everyone watching on Catch Up. And if you want to subscribe to all our channels, then the links in the description down below. Also check out Lucas's Piano Miniatures website, because your eyes will adore you for doing it, because they are fantastic figures. And also please hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already done so, because that really, really helps.
And check out Boards and Swords.
Check out Boards and Swords, who sponsor this stream. Thank you. And if you get along to their, I'm out of practice. It's only 1 week I missed, for goodness sake. If you go along to Boards and Swords website, and use the PCP 5, you get an additional 5% off everything on the website, which is already reduced by at least 10%, and in some cases 20%. So check that out. Right, all that's done. So let's get on to the goodness. So Lucas, you sent me some awesome pictures. So I am just going to be prepared, everybody. I am warning you. These are gorgeous things coming to see. So let's take a look at Austrian Grenadiers. So what are these from? Is this a new? This is not current? This wasn't on the Tyrolean Kickstarter, was it?
Yeah. Sorry, no. So everything I sent you will be in the new Kickstarter. So for the Tyrolean stuff, I was not doing the Grenadiers because I think there weren't any in the Tyrol, and yeah, now we have the German Grenadiers and also the Hungarian Grenadiers for the Austrians.
So that's the command group.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And then you also sent me the line infantry command.
Yeah, I already did one, but I think you always need some more officers for the 2nd or 3rd battalion, and yeah, just start doing some more.
Brilliant. Did you paint these, or was this?
Yes. So the Grenadiers and also these I painted last week, I think. Yeah.
So not only do you sculpt beautiful figures, but you paint them amazingly well too.
Yeah, it takes far too much time, but yeah, it's also fun and part of this whole journey. So
fantastic. And then some cavalry as well. So we got Austrian Hussars.
Yeah, these are painted by Stefan this time.
Fantastic.
Wow. They're just beautiful. That's seriously nice. And then
I have separate arms this time. So I'm moving from the previous builds I had to separate arms for all the cavalry I'm doing. So you can use them for attacking poses and also for the shouldered sword poses. Yeah, I think it's just little bit more flexible, and I don't have to put 2 sets on and painting.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, and also, you've got some French coming. So
Yes.
French Grenadiers in bearskin, which
fantastic.
to me, if you're going to do Grenadiers, French Grenadiers, they've got to be in bearskins. It's compulsory, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
They're great.
Fantastic. It's been a while since I've painted any French up, but I may have to do some when they.
And then there's some light infantry.
Mhm.
Light infantry command.
Yeah,
They're
again,
great.
painted by Stefan. Yeah.
Wow, really, really good. And then we got here some light infantry marching.
Wow.
And the backs of them.
Yeah, I try to give them lots of baggage and packs and onions and stuff.
Yeah,
That's great.
No, I love that. That's fantastic.
I don't know. There was this saying that French infantry were looking more like traders than soldiers. I don't get it right, but yeah, that was the biggest inspiration for this range.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And then that's the French line infantry, the backs of them again with all the different kit hanging off them. That's awesome. Really, really good. They are fantastic. So that's the next Kickstarter, right? That you're planning to do.
Yes, I think that one will launch in early September. I wanted to do it in July, but things getting delayed, and yeah, painting is always so much time. So yeah.
And so that will be okay. Well, that's a good excuse. That's so that will be French. What period? What period French is that? Is that 1807 kind of period? Is it?
That's all 1809.
1809.
So the name of the campaign will be the Danube campaign. Yeah. So it's I think everything I do is about 1809. So yeah. And my plan for the future is just to continue doing stuff for 1809 and yeah, basically doing everything and every nation that fought in that campaign or year, because there were several campaigns, I think. Yeah,
there were a lot of campaigns in that year. You've chosen a good year for lots of things.
Yeah, I think it's the best. I think.
Well, 1813 is kind of interesting. 1813 is kind of interesting, but anyway, whatever. Oops, sorry. So, Paul, yes, I am dribbling. Yes. Unashamedly, yes, I am. A number of times I thought, oh, an Austrian army, that would be nice. And I know, stop, behave, stop it. Even though French got me excited, and that says a lot.
Bloody hell, Dom!
I know.
Who are you?
I know.
Where's Dom?
Nick, I have not put away the Ottomans yet. They are coming. Don't worry. The Ottomans are coming. There's another one for you, because when you finish with 1809, Ottomans, yeah, there are lots of colourful uniforms and interesting things. So, so that's going to be the next ones, the French and the Austrian, or fleshing out more of the Austrians and start. You haven't done any French up till now, have you? This will be the first French.
Yeah, these are the first. I think I did one Marshal, Van Damme for 1809 for the Württembergers.
Yes.
But yes, so these are the first French. The first of many. So this campaign is actually split in two. So this will be part 1. And part 2 will feature most of the guard units for the French, at least for the foot guards.
Right.
And also for the Austrians, some more Grancers and cuirassiers for both factions. So
nice.
Lots of stuff coming. And
so when you're starting to do a range like that, or a particular army, what's the process you go through in terms of researching it, and how long does it say you want to do it, you say you're going to start in September, how long ago would that range have started?
So I think it's a bit interchanging. So right now I'm already looking at what's coming next, and getting tired of what I'm working on right now. And wanted to do the next stuff. But mostly I think it's these books. Don't know if John H. Till is just my Bible in wargaming things. So I'm reading a lot. Especially the Thunder on the Danube books, and making some notes and some lists of what I want to cover with the next range. And then it's just collecting references, and I have a quite nice software that's called PureRef, where you can just put images on and have them arranged in just one window. And I think when I have around 300, 400 reference pictures, also scanned from various books, I'm starting sculpting. So I think before the Tyrolean campaign, I was reading for around 1 month, I think, when I still was painting all the Landwehr and all the Schützen for the Tyroleans. And then I started sculpting as soon as the Kickstarter went on for the Tyroleans.
Wow. And so you talk about 300 odd models or sculpts you've got on the PC, but how do you narrow that down to a reasonable number that you're going to put in the Kickstarter?
So the 300 were just the reference pictures.
Okay.
So reasonable amount of figures. I try to make not too many in the beginning, so I'm always around 30 sets maybe, and then everything gets out of control. I wanted to do 30 sets for this Kickstarter, and now I think I'm at 45.
Wow.
Something.
Bloody
hell. And I'm just adding, and but in the end it's my list I have, and it's not always easy to decide what goes in and what not. So I had to cut the Grances out of this, for example.
Because that upset the Austrians.
Because my caster also has limited time, and I have to print all the masters myself, so that takes so much time, and also the cleaning process is always so it's not like printing figures for painting, because then I can just cut everything you see from 45 degrees from above or something. And for the master models, I have to clean everything on every crease and things. So it's more like how much time I have than how many sets I want to implement.
Understood. Yeah, completely. I don't know how you narrow it down to what you're doing, and I guess also you want to encourage people to buy a decent number, but then also know that they can then come back and get the next range when the next Kickstarter comes along.
Sure.
Yeah. Awesome. Let's. I think there's some fantastic stuff. Is there anything you plan after that particular one? So it's going to. You said it's going to be the Guard next after this particular Kickstarter comes along. Is there anything else further down that you can give us a heads up on?
I think with the last two Kickstarters and also the next one with the Guards, I think I will do some smaller nations again.
Good. Like
having less sets and getting on with things. So I think Baden will be next.
Okay.
Because lots of people have asked for it, and also my caster. And yeah, so Baden I think will be next after the French and the Austrians, and yeah, Westphalians after that, I think.
More white uniforms, great.
Yeah. I love painting white these days. It's faster than all the colors, at least for me. Yeah.
Steve loves white, don't you, mate?
No.
Awesome. That is brilliant. Let's have a look at some of the questions that people have put up while we've got you, Lucas. Just go. So we've got well, Daniel just says, "Love your minis, Lucas." There you go.
Thank you.
There you go. Glendur says, very proud moment today when my 5-year-old said he was playing little plastic men like daddy. Love it. That's not really a question for you, Lucas, but I love that. That's fantastic. Louis Baber said, very talented, Lucas. Napoleonic Hungarians. I don't know whether it's a question whether you're doing them, but clearly you are doing Hungarians within the Napoleonics, aren't you? So within the Austrians.
So with this Kickstarter releasing in September, I have 4 sets of Hungarians. Yeah, so Hungarian Line, Hungarian Grenadiers, and a Hungarian officer. Yeah. So.
Much, I think Louis Baby just wants Prussian landwear, doesn't he?
Or you'll bring him out in the high. You can't see. He's got PTSD, I think.
I don't think we can fit them into that campaign. Clive asked the question, what program do you use to create your STLs?
Yeah, so I use 2 main softwares. One is Autodesk Maya, which I was doing most of the stuff for the film industry company I was working on. So that's for posing the figures and doing all the posing stuff. And then I went on to ZBrush. So ZBrush is maybe 90% of the day. Yeah.
Awesome. Shring says, Perry fan here. Dare I say, yours are the best Napoleonics I've seen. My nephew has gone for the Austrians. I need Confederation of the Rhine figures.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, I can't say it fairer than that, to be honest.
Yeah.
I agree with him about Confederation of the Rhine. Fantastic.
Yeah, of course. So, Confederation of the Rhine, I think, will be the next 4 or 5 years. Loads of work.
It'll keep you busy, that's for sure. There were plenty of them. I bore these guys regularly. That one of the first experiences I had of Napoleonic gaming was father of one of my school friends who had built the entire Confederation of the Rhine forces in 15mm with the minifigs and goodness knows what else, because they were, back in the day, black and white days. And yeah, just remember seeing them all laid out on the table. Literally he'd gone every battalion, every squadron, every combined battalion, everything. And I think it was very colourful, and it had a lasting impact on my
wallet,
bank balance,
on my bank balance, and my addiction to everything. So, yeah, absolutely awesome. Walkabout says, hello Lucas, can't wait for another one of your Kickstarters. Well, September sounds like that's the next one, so get your wallet ready.
Not
long to wait. That'll be here before we know it. Nick, congratulations on your 1,000 subs, mate. Absolutely amazing sculpting and painting by Piano Miniatures. Just wow. Yeah,
thank you very much.
These aren't so many questions, it's just adoration, I think, at the moment. There you go. Shakos wants to know, I'd love to know the process for researching Napoleonic uniforms. Is it books, is it online, or combination? You sort of addressed that already, but is that mainly through that book you use?
Yeah, it's a combination. Yeah. So for the French, I was mainly using the French Army book by Rousselot, and yeah, for the Confederation of the Rhine armies, it's mainly books and some online references. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for the poses, I mostly use historical paintings for inspiration, and also everything by Don Troiani. He did a lot of for the ACW campaigns, but I'm using his poses for Napoleonics also very often. So yeah, it's a combination. Uniforms, mostly books. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because kind of poses is one of those things that I know Martin talks about that with the figures he's been having done with macro. The getting them to look authentic, but also making them a little bit different. I mean, those Schutzen that I painted up, there's a guy crawling on the ground effectively, and there's all sorts of very different poses, but they look very natural and look right. That must be really hard to get right.
Yeah. So the Schützen, for example, were one-to-one copies from a painting I saw in Munich.
Ah, okay.
So that's really, really good for getting inspiration for the poses, because yeah, after 100 marching line figures, you have to get your sources for the poses from somewhere. Yeah, and there are so many paintings. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Philip has to ask the question that I'm sure lots of people are already saying. Any intention of doing any other periods? Well, 1807, 1809 is going to keep you busy for quite a while, but once that's put away, is there anything else that you think, oh, I just would love to do that?
Yeah, so quite a lot actually. So I have everyday intentions to do something different. So I'm trying to concentrate for my business stuff on 1809 for the next years, I think. But for my personal wargaming projects, I think every week sees a new project. Yeah.
Well,
right now I'm painting.
Well said to a true wargamer. Well done.
Yeah. Right now I'm painting some Franco-Prussian Paris, the new French, and yeah, maybe World War I after all the Napoleonics. Maybe
we know. There's a couple of our regulars will get very excited by the thought of that. Yeah.
I think it's a period with not much wargaming, so let's see.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things. I thought it was going to be really, really big this year because there seemed to be a lot of systems that were coming through, but I'm not sure it quite exploded as it should. But there's a few more people playing it for sure. That's for sure. So do you still game regularly then? You a member of a club, or do you meet with friends, or what do you do for your own gratification wargaming wise?
Yeah. So I think it's still mostly painting because I have no club around. Maybe that can change when I'm moving to Nuremberg. But yeah, most of my gaming is via tabletop simulator,
right?
With one of my friends, and we're playing mostly Lord of the Rings. I think, yeah, Lord of the Rings. But not so much playing, but more painting and building. But since I have this business and I'm sculpting, I always feel bad if I don't paint some of the figures that will go to the next Kickstarter. So yeah.
Yeah, does that take some of the enthusiasm out of it? Because you got to keep...
Not enthusiasm, but yeah, I always feel bad doing something else. And yeah, it also takes much or most of the time away. Yeah.
Yeah, I can believe it. Yeah. Benjamin says, if you do Swedes, please, We need Danes and Norwegians as well. I think it sounds like it's a long way down the list, Benjamin. I'm not going to hold out much hope, but you never know. You never know.
Sometime I'm sure. Yeah.
Oh dear.
But I'm trying to do these themed campaigns. So I think so now for the French and the Austrians, and maybe for the Swedes and the other nations that were fighting. I think also in 1809.
I think I can't remember the date, but they did have a nice dust up with the Russians around that sort of time. So yeah, which would be interesting.
Sure, but
someday. Oh, don't tease me. Walkabout says the STL prints are so nice and your support work is spot on. So, I mean that's quite an art, isn't it? To get this, I don't understand 3D printing. Sorry, drink. I know a channel that will tell you a little bit about it. Apparently, but...
yeah, if he can remember to get his channel name right.
If he remembers.
Yes.
So supports are. I think the thing that I prefer or enjoy the least on the whole thing, it's just so boring. But you get around doing working supports after a few dozens of figures, and now it's quite fast.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And I'm happy people are printing without many problems. So yeah.
So in fact, there's a Granddad's Art Space says, Lucas, does the £130 limit for UK still stand, or has it changed?
Yeah, and unfortunately, it still stays. So I was trying to apply for VAT registration in the UK, but it was so complicated.
Yeah,
I had to break it off. So yeah, sadly, it still stands.
So that's one of the other good reasons of having the STLs is that you can get around that challenge of the posting to the UK or anywhere else where there's a duty level that needs to be dealt with.
Yes, sure.
Yeah, not easy. Have you, I mean, is that an option, do you think, at some point that you might think about offering figures through another company to get around that? Because I imagine it's a similar thing with the US, isn't it? You have a similar challenge.
I think with the US it's easier. So I think actually UK is the most difficult to get through right now.
Naturally, cool.
At least from my experience. The problem is that the margin on the metal models is already quite low. So I'm not doing lots of money on the metal figures. So any distributor would cut maybe 30% off in addition. So yeah, not right now, especially with the metal prices right now. But maybe in the future. I'm in contact with some people, so maybe we will work something out. But yeah,
that'd be good. Oh, I knew somebody would have it here. There you go. There's justification. 1809. Two battles between the Swedes and the Russians. There you go.
We can always rely on them to get it, can't we? Someone will always get it in.
Didn't know I had to do Russians also for 1809.
Yeah, you see, that opens up another load to the Russian armies.
Growing longer and longer.
Awesome. I love it. Right. Let's have another little break and do some of the news. I think we've got some news, and then we'll come back and do some more questions because there's a few more in there. If you've got any other questions for Lucas, please do put them in the chat. And Jerry says he's okay. He's in Northern Ireland. Okay. Thanks, Jerry. Thanks for that. Make us all feel really good. So let's do some news, and then we'll be back with some more questions and some more stuff from Lucas. So, oh God, I've got to find that video, haven't I? Hang on
it's not the news now if you don't do it. If you don't play the creepy.
I know you got to play the creepy music. Sorry, everyone. Oh gosh.
It's
very
is,
creepy.
It is. It's just like you're being followed.
It is. It's just one of those horrible,
I'm
horrible things.
always slightly uneasy for about 10 minutes after that music plays. You can't get it out of your head. It's horrible. I can't wait. I think I really
when we do crack. Yeah, we'll get rid of that one because when we do CrackCon, when Ken walks in, should we just play that through the speakers? Like his entrance, we look like a wrestler when a wrestler walks in.
He should have it as everywhere he walks. I think
everywhere he walks. Yeah, it's his theme music.
Everywhere he goes. Yeah, it should be absolutely brilliant. Martin, what have you seen? Anything?
I saw things that are going to tempt Steve. And I went out of my way to put them on the screen. So, first of all, I found I'll do it first because I'll get shouted at if I don't put these up. So there was some new Games Workshop teased the other week. Now let me get this right. Cities of Sigmar. Is that it? Is that just it? I can't remember what they call it. Essentially, it's just there's this thing.
Yes,
like a reliquary, matriarch of the Great Wheel. It's two dudes carrying wheel. I quite like it, to be fair.
I do like that. As soon as I saw that, I did see it. I was like,
Free Guild. That's it. The free Guild something. Is that what I don't know. It looks all right. And anyway, these got leaked, and then GW did their thing where they came along with like, here's some real photos. But they've done this kind of little set here where you get like lots of different commanders to like chuck in your units, which are all one set, I believe. Which I thought
that's a lovely little set, isn't it?
I might be completely wrong. Maybe they just come in twos, but it's just weird of them to put it up. Anyway. Free Guild Command Core, Cities of Sigmar. They did have a big cannon, but the photo didn't save properly. So we go. But that isn't what was going to tempt Steve. This is what's going to tempt Steve.
No.
So there is a new starter set. I mean, the only thing that might not, it's $150. So what's that? 125 quid.
Yeah,
but then with your 5% discount from Boards and Swords, you can get 5 more quid off. So there plus outcomes. So there is a new one of these. I think they've just revamped their starter set because essentially they just needed to do it. So here is some of the new villains. I quite like all the Ultron robot things on one base. I actually quite like that. I think that looks quite cool.
Is that the Red Skull?
It is, and I've just realised my photo of the goodies is not come up, but it's got Spider-Man and Iron Man and everything you'd expect in it. So they're there. V&V have released some 40 mil English archers, including one giving the 2 fingers in the middle. Which is and they've got him sort of like doing it not the way we would model it with its 2 fingers facing. He's just showing them he's got two fingers. How much? Make me a cup of tea for that price. So anyway, so V&V, they've got some Medbury have got some Dark Age stuff. They put up loads of stuff, but they had some Dark Age archers and bits coming up. And again, they've not come through. I put more than one photo up. But anyway, go look at Medbury Miniatures. They've got quite a lot coming up.
They've got a Kickstarter coming soon, I think. So
they have. And is it? I can never pronounce this. Is it Kurusan Miniatures? Kurusan, 15 mil metals. They are doing Spanish Civil War in 15 mil.
That is interesting. They're lovely figures.
Which is cool. So you've kind of got this command grid, and then here are some of the standard ones, which I thought were quite cool. They're really nicely detailed.
They're lovely figures, aren't they?
Very, very nice.
Really nicely done.
I have to dig out my copy of Homage to Catalonia after seeing those.
Oh, there you go. And that was what I saw. That's what I managed to.
That is what you saw. Wonderful thing.
That is what I saw. Well, I knew that you'd get the other thing, so I just didn't bother.
Okay. I actually, there's been. I suppose it is the summer, so there's definitely been less out there. But Iron Duke have got some more wonderful figures coming through. So these are Fingo. I forget, but yeah, one of the colonial wars. and there are the 74th Highlanders to fight them. So there you go. 1851 to 53 is obviously that period. They're 28 mils. So really, really good. So that's Iron Duke. And also got me very excited since I'm doing all my epic stuff at the moment. Steel Fist. These are 15 mil dragoons, English Civil War dragoons.
Are they the ones you posted? That you posted in the Facebook group? Because I sent those to my mates. No, we're thinking about doing Pikeman's Lament.
Yep.
These would be ideal. These would be absolutely. Because I was very impressed with them. Lovely, lovely, lovely looking miniatures.
There's the horse. There's the horse holders for the dragoons. So really, really sweet.
Horse holder. Do like a horse holder.
I do like a horse holder too. To be absolutely honest, it's a really, really good thing. Someone did tell me that they are very small 15 mils, so they will probably go very nicely with the epic. So I might have had to buy a few just to check that out. purely in the interest of research, obviously.
Scientific research.
I'm doing it because somebody has to do it for you folks out
doing
there.
It for people. You're a man of the people.
I am a man of the people. Also, talking about man of the people, let me find the picture. Here we go. Mac, who people will know used to run Salute. Is now part of the committee, I believe, that runs Salute, but doesn't do it from the front line. You remember he came on the stream a couple of years ago now, talking about how how many grey hairs it gave him running Salute. But he's mad into his sort of Car Wars type thing. So he started his own company producing this rule set, which you can buy now. I'll put the link in the description in a minute when I get round to it. But he described this as a post-apocalyptic battle game using converted Matchbox and Hot Wheel cars. You can simply battle or race, even battle to a destruction derby. Who doesn't like that?
That sounds good to me.
I like the sound of that. That sounds rather good.
So those are available. I'll put the link in the description to his website, and you can, if you're interested, go along and pick them up, because it's a new venture for him. So there you go. Findoria Games is the name, so check it out. I said I'd put that through. Lovely. So yeah, Seagundal set agrees. Never heard a better reason to buy miniatures. Yeah, it's true. And I am taking one for the team.
I think we've known over the past 3.5 years that Dom doesn't need a single reason at all to buy miniatures. It's just going to happen.
It does. When you witness it happening in person, it's quite fun. I refer you back to Conquest Games last year, Dom, and you walked over to the stand and then walked away with essentially half of every model he produced.
They're all painted, mate.
Yeah, mine aren't. I still haven't done mine.
I'm going to say, you haven't painted yours.
I would refer Dom back to Crackcom, where he said, I'm only doing O group in 12mm. Walked over to the sales corner in boards and swords and promptly bought everything.
Yeah, that was a bit of a relapse. That was. Although, to be absolutely honest, I did then sell all those 12, whatever, 10, and made more money out of them to then invest in the 15 mil. So
it was just the veneer of willpower just collapsed, and you could just see or sense just draining from you. And all of a sudden, every last bit of Battlefront stuff was under your arm.
But it was a bargain. It was a bargain. It was an absolute bargain. I've still got a few of those tanks. So yeah, well, shoot me. Craig, invest. Absolutely, that's what it is, an investment. My kids will be very delighted when they have to sell it off when I hit the bucket. They'll have to work through it. Yeah, what can I say? But I do paint my way through it, so I don't care. So, Right, so that's what we've been. That's what we've seen out there. If you see anything else, please let us know, because it's always good to know about some of the stuff that we don't catch everything. I know we don't, and we don't pretend to. But and remember that if you do see anything, join the Facebook page, stick it up there, because it's good for the community to know what's coming down the line and what people are interested in. Pile of investment. That's it.
Pile of investment.
Pile of investment. Well done. Cool. Right, let's get back to. We've got about 40 minutes left, so that's good. Wonderful stuff. I think we've answered this one. Well, actually, Nick's asked the question. I wonder if sales of Napoleon will go up after the new Ridley Scott movie. I don't know. Do you think? I don't know.
Yeah, you probably will. You probably. I
think so too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you excited by that one, Lucas? Are you excited to go along and watch it?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, yeah. I think it's like all historical movies. So if I see some medieval movies, I go and buy some War of the Roses. And,
Yeah.
I think movies are one of the biggest inspiration. Yeah.
It is. Although Haley started watching the White Queen again last night, because we went to Bosworth and she started watching the White Queen again, and I've been sitting there twitching. Just from it wasn't even anything to do with the story. So I was just sitting there because I never noticed the first time she watched it how all the soldiers are outfitted like guys that are going skateboarding. They've all got like things pulled up like this. They've all got like scarves on, and I couldn't work out.
Oh, Jesus. I mean, yeah, I know Martin gets triggered by every medieval movie there is, pretty much, but they are great for just inspiring people.
They are, and I like, because I love Ironclad. I think that's amazing. That film, the one about the Siege of Rochester Castle, with
good film.
James Purefoy as a Knight Templar, where he has no business being there, and it's amazing. I love that's the one where they set the pigs on fire, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a great film. I love that film. I do love that. But no one's made like where's Ridley Scott's Wars of the Roses one? That's what I want to know. He's 83, isn't he, or something like that?
No, he's still got time. Still could do it. You never know. You want that?
I want that.
Well, we've had Richard under the car park. What more do you need?
Maybe Michael Bay when we do a Wars of the Roses film.
Don't. Oh, why did you have to bring him into
Oh, Jesus. I think, we talked about this. Did we talk about? I can't remember. One week we talked about the fact, just inspiring people into historical gaming, and I think any kind of film like that will hopefully inspire people to look at historical gaming over the weird shit that happens all the time.
But look at Sharp. Sharp made me want to. It was Sharp that made me want to do Napoleonics. I don't lie. It was all of that, and that's why I wanted to do a French column, and things like that, And then I learned to actually dislike the 95th Rifles because they kept on beating me in games. So I feel for the I can't remember what's the French general. Calvert, that's it, isn't it? In Sharp. I feel for him. I sympathise with him in Sharp.
You're just all wrong. You are. Martin just thinks of the White Queen as a Monty Python show.
Do you know what? Right, can I just say? Right, I think it is really good fiction. I think it's really good. I think the casting is brilliant. I think everyone who was cast in it was brilliant. I think the person that plays Edward and Richard and Warwick, I think they're all brilliant. It's just that every now and then they have to throw in some witchcraft for the hell of it. And yeah, I'll shut up.
Mel Gibson should do a Wars of the Roses film. You pressed Welsh winning everything. Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah,
you get the blood with that, wouldn't you? Wow, that'd be awesome. Actually, I'd go for that. Blimey. So completely sidelined there. Rogue Trooper, I think you're going to be unlucky, mate. ACW, that's what he wants you to do at some point. I don't think that's on the cards yet, is it?
I did a few last year. Because I think ACW is the biggest army I have painted right now. All Parry 28 millimeters.
Oh, fantastic.
But I think not in the next 5 years. That's for sure. Yeah, but who knows? Maybe I will be watching the Ken Burns documentary again end of this year, and then it's all ACW.
Just one of the best documentaries I have ever watched.
It's so good.
So good.
I think I watched it 4 times in COVID during COVID.
I could listen to Shelby Foote talk just constantly because his voice is just so awesome. It really is.
Yeah. So the secret of getting Lucas to do any figures for you is to give him a look. What do you drink? Is it red wine, beer? It must be beer. You're in Bavaria. It must be beer.
No beer.
Oh, no. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so.
Whatever your alcoholic tipple is, we'll put you in a chair, put a film on, and give you that. And then eventually you'll be, before we know the end, you'll be sculpting something for people.
Yeah. It's quite possible, yeah.
Similar thing, Nick, because he's obsessed with this period. Will you ever do the Great Northern War, 1700 to 1721?
I think no, because no, nothing in particular that I know about this period, and yeah.
Yeah, no, I
think that is an interesting thing, because I think whether it's a hobby related thing or you're doing it commercially as a business, I think you've got to have that passion, that interest in this in the subject to start off with. Otherwise, I think it's gonna show in what you do. If you've got no interest in what you're working on, I think that comes across quite
definitely.
Easily.
Yeah. Especially when it comes to also painting the figures.
That's why Dom doesn't paint Turnip 28.
That'd be easy to paint. You just slap a whole load of mud on them and stick some tufts in. Then unmentionables.
See, you're halfway there, Dom. You're halfway there.
Oh dear. Red Steph said, Lucas, do you have a digital dolly in each pose and just add the uniform, or is each figure a new render?
Yeah, so most of the time each figure is a new pose that I'm posing. And then adjusting the uniform parts. So most of the time the cloth, so all the folds, and also the pose is individual for every miniature. Yeah, but I have a dolly like I think most physical sculptors are having too.
Yeah,
just adding to that.
Okay, excellent. Marco's very excited about Barden and Westphalian. Yeah. I can't disagree. People are still holding out for lots of other periods. We won't go into those because
it's going to be a shopping list. Yeah,
because it's a shopping list. Yeah, it really is. Here you go. Shaker says Italians and Austrians for World War I. That would be amazing. Yeah, I think there's a huge opportunity there at some point.
Let's talk again in 5 years or so.
Yeah, if we're still going by then, if they haven't taken us off, you can come on and talk about that Kickstarter for sure.
Okay. I look forward to it.
Benjamin, Lucas, will you be at Tactica 2024? Do you do trade shows? You do go
along. I think Tactica is the first and so far the only I went to. And last year I was just showing off my figures in some glass cases, and next year I will be selling a few, I think.
Excellent.
Yeah,
excellent. Yeah. What's the sort of historical gaming scene like in Germany? I mean, I know you said you're not a member of a club, but I always feel there's quite a reasonable number of people who game historically.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, so I think World War II is also quite popular.
Mm-hmm.
I think Saga At least it was a few years ago. And yeah, I think Napoleonic too. Yeah. So, but I think most of the historical wargaming, at least from my point of view, happens in the upper half of Germany. So where I am, yeah, I don't know a lot of people, but if you're wargaming Napoleonics, then just send me a message.
Send you a message. Go on the Piano Miniatures website and you can find some wonderful things.
Or Facebook, yeah.
Or Facebook, yes, indeed. Yeah. And so are you planning a holiday for next year? I love going to Germany. I haven't been for many, many years. I'd be quite happy to go there. And if there's an excuse to do some wargaming while I'm there, then what the heck? I don't mind.
Because it's great,
yeah, sounds like fun. Why not? Is to go to. Where is Tactica? Is it Hamburg?
Hamburg, yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
That's where I also met Paris the first time. Yeah. So. Yeah.
I see you've spoken with the Perrys.
Yeah, I was a bit starstruck. Yeah.
Are they
great guys? And
they are really nice blokes, aren't they?
Very nice.
Are they inspirations for you? Is that I mean, were there people like that inspired you to start sculpting, or was it?
Yeah, sure. So I think the first figures I painted were Paris, so the Lord of the Rings ranges, and I think 90% of my historical collection is also Paris. So yeah, I think they were the biggest inspiration, and yeah, people like Paul Hicks, for example.
Yeah. Oh, he does some amazing stuff as well, doesn't he? Really, really good. I'm always intrigued. Is there a sort of do you have a secret WhatsApp group between all the sculptors out there just to sort of talk about I mean, do you catch up and talk about things or not?
No, not really. No, I think. Yeah, it would be fun, I think, but no, not yet.
We Dom, we don't want that because they're all going to be. I went on the PCP. I had a terrible time.
That's true. Yeah, that's very true. I just love the idea. It's, but because I know, I don't know. It just always intrigues me that everybody has their own ideas about their figures and what they're going to do and the ranges they can do. But I can't. We had who did we have? The guy from Offensive Miniatures saying he'd actually thought long and hard about how they'd measure up and which figures he wanted his to compare with scale wise and build wise, and this it is quite important, isn't it? Because people do get very hung up about, does it mix with this figure and does it mix? I mean, it's not quite such an issue for you with your SDLs, but because people can scale them a little bit themselves. But do you think about that? So, I want it to sit beside a Perry or whatever.
Sure. I think because most people already have Perrys and also Warlord and Victrix, and I think they match quite okay. So yeah, I'm mostly trying to be at the same scale as the new Perry sets. So like the Franco-Prussian Wars, yeah.
Yeah. So, and I'm sure people will tell you very quickly if they don't sculpt up.
Yeah, I think they're working, but mixing with existing regiments or battalions won't maybe work. But I think most people would do it in any case. So having separate battalions, I think at table size it doesn't matter that much.
Yeah. What about? I'm intrigued as well because one of the things we've talked a lot about on the stream here is the kind of changing dynamics of gaming. You talked about it yourself that you like silver bayonets and you're interested in that. Do you find that most people buy battalions of troops or large numbers, or do you still get people just buying, just some Schutzen to go off and do a skirmish game with or something like that? Is it, how does it work out? Is it primarily people buying big battle games?
I think so, yes. So I think most people are buying for battalions, and there are quite a few that are just ordering one set. So one set from one range, all sets just once, maybe just for their collection or something. Yeah, and also for skirmishing, of course. But I think most people are buying for battalions. Yeah, so I don't know, 4 sets of line infantry in one command, and I think these people are playing big battle games. So
yeah.
Big Battle won the. I don't know if you saw it, but last week, Don, we did a survey last week, and Big Battles did edge out skirmish games by about 4%. It was.
It was very, very, very close.
Yeah, I saw it was a bit tighter than I expected. That I must admit.
Yeah. So, yeah, people do still like their big mass battles.
Good. I saw Ken's in the chat. He'll be pleased.
Yeah. Oh, is he? Oh, I
yeah.
didn't realize.
He's just turned up finally. He's a bit late, but he's here.
Are they moaning about tea or something?
Probably.
No, it's about money. There we go. Got it. So Mr. Barber said, how much? Got it.
Yeah. How much? Yeah. I don't know.
Fantastic.
Interesting. Yeah, I think that's. Oh, we're just looking at some of the chat here again. See if there's anything here that we can.
Have we found out how much Ken offered the Perrys for that antique pistol last night?
Oh yes, they were on the Antiques Roadshow, weren't they?
Oh yeah.
I think he said £3.50. That was his final offer though, to be paid in installments over 12 years.
Lucas, you've because I was perusing the website because you did some sort of late medieval peasants, didn't you? For there's some
from the Tyroleans,
because they can be used across so many periods as well. Because I was basically I decided that I have a very underrepresented peasantry in all my games. I need some more. Are you would you be sort of any ideas about sort of doing more I guess sort of non-combatant stuff, like the sort of vignette kind of things that you can do, so civilians and across, for the 1809, because I don't know, I mean obviously I think combat troops I guess will always sell the most, but people do like their surgeons and casualties and all that kind of stuff. And goats
and goats
and the goats. Yeah. Is that something you'd like to do more of, sort of non-combatant stuff as well?
They're lots of fun, and I think every table needs a few animals.
Absolutely.
I think sheep are next, and more civilians.
Yeah, they're always good, especially if you can have them.
Didn't think so many people wanted to have the metal cows, but yeah, they're quite all right. Yeah.
It's the big one in people. I see that people seem to want is horse casualties. I don't know if they've got something against it, but actually with saddles on them, because people just want, if they're putting casualty markers down, they want to put them next to. They don't just want to put an infantry guy next to a cavalry regiment. They want a horse. So it's as well. So
I did a few in the past, but they don't sell quite.
No. It's No, I do like.
I thought the casualties were great. I put them on those little, little dials you get from war bases, and I had mounted on them there. I think they're perfect for that. Absolutely perfect. Although you had to get a big one for the horses. That's the only thing, because that was quite a big figure.
Don't forget burning pigs. Poor pigs. The pigs. The poor pigs. I regret saying that.
That was a thing, That really was a thing. But... anti-elephant, that was. Limbers. Paul is asking, what about limbers? That would be awesome.
Yeah, lots of people are asking about the limbers, but I don't know. I'm not so much into the hard surface part of the sculpting, so maybe later, but I don't think they would sell that good. And also it's quite a lot of construction work to realize them in metal as well. Yeah, so
Yeah, sadly, we all
Maybe
would
some-
love to have limbers in our armies, but most of us just turn the guns round to note the fact they're
I'm doing that as well. So,
Yes.
but they do look great. Yeah.
They do look great. I always thought if I ever got to the point where I think that's enough figures, I've done it, that'll be it. I'd go back and buy limbers for all the batteries just to keep me busy. But that's never going to happen because A, I'll never get to the end. And B, the thought of doing all those, as you say, constructing them. Just so fiddly.
Maybe one day Rubicon will make a kit for you.
That's right. Was it James? He said he's going to make all my Rubicon kits. Or any of my kits, I'm just going to send them to him. Yeah,
he did a what? He did what? Oh yes, he did.
He did. He said for a couple of quid he'd do every any kits I wanted built. So I'm just
James. Where's the fun in that?
I'm saving them up. I'm going to send them all to him. I don't care. Yeah. Oh, hang on, wrong one. It was Paul again. He said, "But do we turn the guns around because we don't have limbers?" Yeah, I think we do, but I think the problem is it's just like
it's a self-perpetuating.
It's a chicken and egg thing, isn't it? It really is. Yeah, I don't know. It's I did start building them for the Berg army I built, but after 2, I kind of just thought that's enough. They're so big, and also they're damn expensive as well. If you buy them, I think over Perry ones I got. And it's a lot of metal, and then trying to get the super glue to hold it together, even with the activator stuff, was hard work. But hey, so no, I can understand why you wouldn't want to do them. There's another question. Here we go. Glendale says, "Would you be thinking of doing some special miniatures? For example, casualties, maybe 95th rifles." I think he's asking for a friend.
Yeah, when you're buying 100 sets of 95th rifle casualties, maybe, but yeah, not at that point, I think.
Yeah. Well, I know we've talked about this on many occasions with different people. It's that scale factor, isn't it? You have to think about what's going to sell, and to make it justify doing it. But would you ever just do it as an STL and not do it as a metal, just to get around that problem? Because that's got to be a lot cheaper, right?
Yeah, it's a lot cheaper, and but I still want to get it out to the people, and I already hear lots of people complaining that they don't have it in metal. I did one little scenery piece for the Tyrolean campaign, and maybe releasing that in resin at some point. But
cool.
Yeah, I'm trying to do some specialized miniatures for every Kickstarter campaign, so Kickstarter exclusives or free figures that I normally wouldn't do. Maybe this time it's quite a big special miniature, but let's see.
There's me saying I don't need any more French. I'm definitely not doing Austrian. It's going to happen, isn't it?
Dom's gonna have sleepless nights now.
Special figures, though. I mean, just got me straight away. Anytime there's a special figure, just gets me done. Hooks me in. And Craig asked an interesting question. I think it's more for all of us rather than just you, Lucas. But is there any consideration that AI will take over design process? This is the question in the art world. And he apologized for the caps. He obviously got too excited about it. Probably AI took over, made him do caps. I don't know. Do you think AI is going to make a difference to designing figures? And
yeah, I'm not sure. I think maybe posing will be easier because nowadays you can just put up a camera and somebody moves and then you can get the pose this one is doing into digital, and maybe it's making posing easier, but sculpting figures, I don't think so. Especially, I think no AI will get the buttons right. So
plus,
This is true.
the people in those Facebook groups have no one to shout at, and if they did, it'd go all like Skynet off Terminator, and it just all go. It would all go disastrously wrong after that. Imagine that complaining about the buttons on someone's cuff. The next thing there's nuclear war going on.
But you could have the AI who designed it being complained by the AI that controls the comments in all the Facebook pages, and they all have a big fight over it, and all the humans could just watch. It'd be great, wouldn't it? Maybe not. I don't know. Some thought process on what your special miniature is. Here you go. Paul says Napoleon riding on a dragon. Could be.
Maybe.
Archduke. There's a lot of thoughts here. Archduke Charles on an elephant.
That's an idea.
Oh well, awesome. Right, let's move on and do some of the viewers' pictures because Ken always forgets, and I haven't this time, even though I forgot to thank everybody watching in replay, which I'm going to do again. Thank you, everyone watching in replay. Much appreciated. We love you as much as those watching on live. Let's have a look at some of the pictures. So, reminder, these are pictures on the Facebook page. If you're not a member of the Facebook page, please consider joining. There's a link in the description down below, and you just have to ask 3 very simple questions, or get lucky when one of these two is paying attention.
Now he's back. I might have put a call out last week and said if you joined the Facebook group before whatever day it was you were coming back, you're more likely to get in.
Yeah, right. You'll be grateful for my questions when you get all those spammers. Anyway, whatever. You can't tell some people. So let's have a look at some of the pictures. Reminder, just some of the community pictures that go up each week. We don't show everything because there's far too many to show, but it's just nice to see the sheer breadth of some of the stuff that people are working on. So this was Andrew's. He said this is his first attempt at bolt action figures.
Oh, yes. Love these.
There's a decent amount of foliage on those bases, isn't
well,
there?
they're scouts. They're Australian scouts, so I can understand why. But yeah, I think he's put extra stuff on their helmets as well. I mean, I've got them, but it's been like 4 years since I've not seen them in the best part of 3.5 years. But yeah, fantastic start on bolt action, brilliant.
Really nice.
Love it.
Adam has been. I guess this is one of his religious bands. I recognise those. I recognise all those figures actually. The monks are from Footsore, I think, and that priest I've got him. I bought on eBay, and I can't remember where it was from. But yes, I guess that's command stand for. I don't know what that would be. Lion Rampant, maybe.
That is very cool.
Very cool. That's Adam's work. More medievals from Piers. This is his Baron Wars.
He's up to. Did he say 1,000 points? So I love the bishop at the back. I love that. Yes, it's lovely.
Fantastic stuff, isn't it? Really clean figures. Those love them. Don. He's continuing with his Second World War figures. These I just love these two. He showed a whole load of the things he's been working on, but these are really good, aren't they? Love them. Can't remember what manufacturer they are, but he'll probably tell us at some point.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
I'm not sure.
They're Warlord. They look quite.
I think the Piper might be Warlord.
Is that one of those special figures? I don't know.
Well, no, doesn't the Lord Lovett figure come with a Piper?
Ooh. Don't know.
Huh.
He'll have to put it in the comments. I know he watches on the replay, so Don, tell us. Craig, look at those.
Oh wow. Look at the basing. I mean, the figures are lovely as well, but the basing is awesome.
I just love seeing lots of the French dropping.
It's so harsh.
Yeah, fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. T'other Don has been doing his Edge Hill figures. So I guess I think these are epic, aren't they?
Yeah.
He's coming along really nicely, those Dragoons.
Can we all say a belated happy birthday to Don?
Can we? Is it?
It was his birthday at the weekend.
Ah, I missed that.
Happy
Sorry,
birthday.
Don. Happy birthday, Don. Happy birthday, mate. I hope you had a good cigar and whiskey.
Well, he didn't like the beer I was drinking, and he said that every time I post something like that, a man in Ohio sheds a tear. So, yeah, happy birthday, Don.
Lord Lovett and Piper Millen. There you go.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go. You're dead right. Dave showed off his Swiss. He showed off a lot of his Swiss, to be honest, but I picked out the handgunners because I thought these looked fantastic.
Yeah,
well, they all look fantastic.
I like the bull on the shield.
Yeah, that's what I like.
Awesome.
That's brilliant. Brilliant.
Are they Perry's?
Yes, they probably are. Yes, they are.
Yes, they are.
Some weird shit from Gaza.
Oh, look at that.
I mean,
dinosaurs.
Just dinosaurs. That's why I picked it up, because I know how you like them, Martin.
Well, like I said, the thing is, I've only painted like one to completion, and then I've got 4 others that are kind of half done. I went in there to buy paint, and I walked out with a pack of dinosaurs. But yeah, I mean, they are cool. I love. That's the thing I like about them. They're painting up bright, and it just looks awesome. But I mean, that thing at the back, I don't know what it is. It's a big dinosaur. It looks awesome in any game. That would just be cool on the table.
Blimey. Oh, apparently the Facebook link isn't working. Don't know why that is. Let's try that one. There we go. Try that one, folks. Oh, I don't know what's happened. Sometimes it doesn't copy across properly. James has been working on his Dead Man's Hand.
Oh, I love these.
Nice.
Brilliant.
So I believe these are the 7th Cavalry, aren't they? And they're pretty evil in Dead Man's Hand, I believe.
Yes, they are. They have some ridiculous rules attached to them, but they're good fun. It's all in good fun till you play them.
Till you fight them.
But yeah, they are very, very nice. Very, very nice. I need to go out and buy some of the Native Americans to take them on, because, as Custer famously said, there is no force in the world that can beat the 7th Cavalry.
Nope.
I think that didn't age well, did it?
No, didn't it? Yeah. I think Ken's upset by our dinosaurs.
Are we wargaming Jurassic Park? Well, you're here, mate.
Love it. Love it. Andy, these are his 15mm Landsknecks.
Oh, yes. 15mm Landsknecks. What on earth is going on? They are fantastic, though. They are really, really nice.
Wow.
You're not tempted to do them, Don?
I've done Landsknecks, not 15mm. In fact, I need to continue with my Italian Wars, which was my project for the year, and I haven't really done it. I did about 3 pipe blocks, but I kind of then just ran out of steam. I will carry on. I mean, they're pipe blocks for me, not Ken's. The 3 would probably be one of Ken's pipe blocks.
I posted my pipe block of 16, and he just basically he thumbed his nose at 16.
He poo-pooed at you, did he?
He poo-pooed my pipe block.
I don't know. What do you feel about Landsknecks, Lucas? I mean, is that?
Yeah, sure. I did a few for Warhammer. I think can't remember who did the figures, but yeah, I painted some for Warhammer, and I sculpted some for tabletop art. Some Landsknecht ogres.
Did you? Okay.
So, yeah, quite nice uniforms. Another distraction. Yeah.
Steve likes those Landsknecht.
I do. I need to get some just because ogres. I think they look great. They really do.
Brilliant. Let's have a look. What else have we got here? Leslie was showing off. He's embarking on a new chain of command project because in anticipation of the Forest supplement that's coming out. So that's one of his.
They're more of the Warlord Games Australian range. They're the Papua New Guineans. Yeah. God, it's bringing back memories of my Australian army. I'd have a look at that tomorrow. I've not seen it in years.
There you go. That's your chance. Kerry was showing off Welsh medieval cavalry.
Ooh.
Which I think is awesome.
Very colourful.
They're footsore. I know that because I've
Very
got
nice.
some of those, and I press scan them into my Irish forces. So Welsh and Irish similar. That'll do. Very nice indeed. Nathan is working on some Teutonic Knights,
Cool.
which I think he's doing for some competition he's playing in, I believe. So there you go. And Simon showed his first and second ever Napoleonic unit. I thought I'd show the second one.
Oh yes, they're fantastic. They're just so
Really
clean.
Really
The
well
uniforms
done.
are lovely.
Some
Very
people
good.
just got a knack with Napoleonics, haven't they? They just take to it. I mean, if I was to paint those, I'd still be swearing now.
Yeah, probably.
I wouldn't have stopped swearing.
Very nice indeed. Tony was digging into his box of
the Green Knight.
Green Knight.
Yeah. I know they are, Glendale. I know they're completely different, but you know, I just thought I'd trigger you. That's why. Stephen.
What's that, Dom?
He called it a Lord of the French Ultramarines, which I think is probably a real. That's a throwback to an old stream. That one. It's an Ultramarine, isn't it? I don't know.
Yes, it's
the biggie.
It's the biggie. It's Robert Gulliman. He is the head honcho.
Oh, I was just about to say that.
Was it on the tip of your tongue? I bet it was.
It was.
Really, yes.
Yeah.
That's a stunning figure.
I forgot it when Ken said that. I'd forgotten all about it when he said that the French. The Ultramarines of the historical world.
There is a T-shirt in existence which says that, actually. But there you go. Yeah, we'll have to dig that one out.
Yeah,
Steve did some figures from some real retrobate manufacturer that I've never seen before.
Oh, yes. Yeah, he's done a lovely job, hasn't he?
Yeah.
No, they've come out. He's done really well. He's done Miss Edward. The part of Edwards. He's got the Murray in blue down. He's better than me. I just painted my Murray in blue. I just went with red. I couldn't be bothered to try and get Murray. But no, he's done it. He's done it really well. And he's got the sun in splendor over there. He's even done the trim on them. So they look very, very cool. So yeah, that was quite nice seeing them come in. I've had a couple of people have sending me photos now and posting photos, so that's quite cool when people start sending you pictures of what they've done.
That's great.
So yeah, so that was cool.
Do you still feel that, Lucas, when you see other people painting up your figures? Do you get that feeling of kind of?
I think that's the best part of it all.
Yeah. Well, it depends how well they paint it, right?
Yeah, no. Every painted figure is a good figure, I think. So
good man. Agreed.
And yeah, so if you have any painted figures, there's a Facebook group, Piano Wargames Community, where we share painted figures and also some previews and some renders. So come along.
Awesome. I am a member of that group. It's a really good one. I like that. Some other weird shit from Thomas.
Yeah, they're brilliant. I absolutely love them.
Now, can I ask you a question? Are these small scale, or is he just taking that picture really far away?
It sounds like Father
because
Ted.
they look. Hey,
it does sound like Father Ted. You're right.
They just look so good, but they're just so. I just couldn't tell if they were because they're goblins, right? They're tiny anyway.
I think they're between 10 and 15. No, they're not 15. I think they might be the kind of the same range that Dan's been painting.
Yeah, I think 10.
The 10 mil. Yeah,
10 mil.
A scale, yeah.
God, that's nice.
10 mil.
Yeah, I will buy the sales tonight, I think.
That's it.
Nice.
Was that what Ken was painting the other week? Was that a similar thing? Night Goblins?
Yeah, but he was painting them in 28 mil.
Okay.
And these look better than his.
Yeah, obviously. That goes without saying. These are amazing. Talk about amazing. Sean, I think he showed the production as he was building this
Oh, that's insane. Yeah,
this
that's,
church.
yeah,
I mean, just
mad.
extraordinary.
But where's he keeping that?
I no idea. Just no idea.
That thing is bigger than my kitchen. No lie.
Just extraordinary. Just extraordinary. And I'm going to finish up with Mad Sean, because these figures apparently are in the post on the way to me right now. These are some more of Lucas's Württemberg cavalry, and I can't wait to get these out and play with these.
Hang on, is he done these for you?
He has done them for me. Yeah.
So if you finish the stream with basically more of your models,
exactly.
Right.
yeah.
But no, what I want to end it on. I mean, Sean is wow.
To be fair, he has painted pretty much my entire Württemberger army, which is all Lucas's work, because I thought I got them and I opened the box and I went, Jesus, they're so nice. I don't think I trust myself to paint those. Sean, can you paint these for me? And he did, because he said, I really want to paint them. They look lovely. And I went, okay, here you go. So yeah, that's the last lot, which is just amazing. So yeah, that's them. So yeah, reminder, if now that we'll put the correct link in the description for the Facebook page, but please go along and join that. Awesome. Right, we're pretty much the end of the stream. So thank you one and all for joining us. Thank you, Lucas, once again for joining us. Really great to have you on, and it's lovely to see your work. I look forward to spending a lot more money with you very, very shortly.
I think most of the chat's there with you, to be fair.
Yeah. Let us know when the Kickstarter comes out, and we'll happily let people know when that is. Awesome. Oh, there we go.
We just had welcome. Well done.
Well done. Well done. You've just caught the end. You can rewind back to the beginning and cut out all the rubbish. So well done. Thanks for watching. So who's next week?
We haven't decided yet.
I thought it was me.
It is.
It's Steve. It's Steve. So yeah, there we go.
So next Monday will be on Steve's On Point HQ channel. So if you're not already subscribed, I'm sure everyone is. So just make sure you look out for any idea what the subject's going to be, or to be decided.
Why Turn 28 is so bloody awesome. 2 hours of Turn 28. No, it's not really.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you once again, Lucas. Really appreciate coming on. Thanks everybody watching in the chat, and thanks for all the questions and everything else. We'll be back next week unless I find a reason why not to talk about turnips, and we'll see you then. So have a really good week. See you soon. Thanks, guys.
See you, everyone.
Bye bye.